Schreiler will start with an opening statement. We'll take some questions.
Yeah, first, two things. Just wanted to reference the David Nichol Health Check that we started a couple of days ago. It's a great idea. A lot of people here at the university had a hand in both coming up with the idea and then certainly putting that thing together. It's ongoing now. A bunch of the coaches here just got some of the results and meeting with some of the different physicians. Some of the things that we all put off to the side sometimes, whether in this business or others. And I think really for us paying attention to, just some, obviously, being affected here by Coach Nichol, and then some of our friends from across the country, obviously Mississippi State, with Mike, obviously UCLA with Coach McGovern. I mean, it just kind of been a lot of people in our inner circle, right, that it's hit us with, and I think we're always tasking ourselves as leaders to, are we doing the best that we can, right, for the people that we're leading, and that was something that we felt. We know coaches, people in this profession, a lot of times miss the boat on that, and appreciative to USC, to Keck, to all the people that helped put it together, and we're going to be putting all the details together and sending it out to every other college football program, to every other head coach, and we're hoping that they'll follow the same, and this becomes a trend that really resonates nationally. And then obviously, I'm sure a lot of the questions here will be about, I hadn't seen all the news if Big Ten has expanded or whatever happened. I just want to say our university, our leadership made the decision to go into the future with the Big Ten after this season because it was the best thing for USC. That was not contingent on any other schools, on anything else. We don't make decisions here at USC based on anyone else other than doing the best for our university, the best for our student athletes, period. So my reaction today is I have no reaction. We're trying to win the Pac-12, and then we'll deal with the Big Ten when that time comes. All right? I'll go for questions. I just totally everybody's questions are gone now, huh? Go ahead.
Lincoln, I just want to go back to the first statement that you made. Why is it important to you and this organization to kind of set the standard and send out what you guys are doing to other schools?
Well, just I don't know that it's been done to our knowledge. It's something that it's not, I don't say it's easily done, but it's, if you got a great university behind you, you can get it done and get it done quickly. And like I said, there's 7 or 8 months where in this job you're kind of down in the submarine for 7 or 8 months, and you don't come up for air for a while. And things can get missed, and things have been missed, not just recently, but I mean throughout time. And I think it's just more stepping back of what can we do better. And I think we need to all be asking that question because. Not that you can fix everything, but you always hate that. You just want to do your best with it, right? And nothing more important than people's health. And so, it's obviously affected us and something we're passionate about. And I see no reason why this would not become standard practice across the country.
And just to what you've seen on the field so far, you've had a really small sample size, but just interested in what you've seen out of some of your Arizona transfers from Dorian, Keon, Christian on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, love all three. First time to really see Christian full go. He would never do a whole lot with us this spring. And he's done a really nice job. We moved him around a little bit positionally. He's handled that very well. Keon, especially the last couple of days, has really come on, and we're certainly counting on him. Expect him to really reach his potential, which we think is quite a bit past what he's played. And so we're pushing him there, and he's really responded, especially the last 2 days. Been excited about him. And Dorian's playing well. He's fitting well with our guys. Learned our offense well as a playmaker. Ball skills are off the charts, and I think he's really starting to get a feel for the offense, where he's supposed to be, kind of the flow of it. Seeing really start to settle in the last couple.
With Christian and Nichol and 2 incumbent safeties, where do Max Williams and Jalen Smith go from the picture?
Well, they both figure prominently, no question. I mean, we're kind of working Christian all over the place right now. He'd be one of those guys, I'd be honest, I'd be a little surprised if he doesn't play all 3 levels in the secondary at different points this year. I think Jalen and Max have both had phenomenal camps up to this point. Have been 2 of our steadier players. I really see, I see kind of, they've been kind of the opposite a little bit in the past. Like Jalen's had, some real flash plays, and has battled consistency. And Max has had some flash plays too. Max has typically been pretty consistent for us and tough, and we've really pushed him to take advantage more of some of the opportunity to make some of the big plays. And he's made a few, but I think even in camp we've seen it a little bit more. The other thing that's been great for Max is, this is the healthiest he's ever been in whatever it's been now, 2 years that we've been here. I mean, by far. He's always had something nagging or just recovering for something. So you see that out there on the field right now, which has been a big positive.
Coach Henson talked yesterday about how he wasn't happy with some of the play from the offensive line. How did that group respond today?
They're getting better. They're getting better. We're getting the chance to work 3 different groups there, which is great. I mean, the depth is a whole lot different. And so it's been your mix of obviously trying to get some of your older guys ready and then trying to see where these young guys are at and develop them. And there's excitement at all 3 levels. I mean, we didn't have 3 levels last year. We didn't really have a freshman class, right? So it's in a much better spot than it was 12 months ago. It'll be important for us, kind of here in the back half of camp and obviously leading into the first game to start to develop some continuity, make some decisions lineup-wise on where we want to be. But we're progressing. I mean, it's just, like a lot of these positions, the expectations are so high that, these guys got a string to go reach them, and we need them to string more.
With the receiver room being as deep as it is, anyone who's really sort of stood out among that group over the course of this last week?
I mean, it's a tremendous group of true freshmen. I mean, all those guys are pretty good. We'll see impact level in the first year. They all 4, all of those guys, are pretty good in terms of where they're at, this early and showing the ability to contribute. Like a lot of freshmen, it'll come down to the consistency battle for them, and that's some of the edge that our older, more experienced players have. But it's a good room. We're not just crazy depth in terms of numbers, but I mean, we do have talent. We're a pretty fast group, and then it's been nice to have with some of these young guys some real size. They made us a little bit bigger in a few areas as well, which has been good. So now I love the group. It's a lot of competition, but it's it'll be a fun group to be able to take and game plan with, and I do think we'll be able to withstand some of the just ebbs and flows, bumps and bruises, lineup changes as the year goes on.
Let's do one more.
We talk a lot about the defensive on the line. How are some of the guys who've been around, like a Tyrone Delaney, how have they coming on?
Yeah, we really tried to push those guys and really challenge them, right? The narrative on the outside is, you're trying to fix the D-line by going and just adding a bunch of new guys. Well, that's half of it. The other half is you got to develop, what's here, because you do have a lot of guys that played significant snaps. You got a lot of guys that made some really big plays for you, and a lot of guys that, are still climbing towards their ceiling as well. And so, the new guys are not the only answer, right? And that's been behind the walls. That's been a challenge, and I think our guys. I think the continuity and all that in those groups has been great, but those guys have a little bit of an edge to prove, right? That we can be the answer, that we can be part of an elite defensive line. Absolutely, they do. They've been challenged. Sean and Coach Manning have challenged those guys, and the strength levels, the experience. I mean, you see some of that with them. Like they kind of some of those guys look like year 2 players now in the system and in the program. So, yeah, the new faces are exciting, but some of the old faces are a little different than they were 12 months ago.
Lincoln, I know you said that, that first statement that you guys, you're focused on this season. But obviously you guys stood to benefit from the recruiting level from, the move to the Big Ten in terms of, recruiting local talent. Oregon, Washington have obviously, been big players in that market in recent years. So any conversations or discussions so far about them kind of going there and you guys still needing to kind of put your foot on the gas when it comes to a recruiting level locally?
No. I mean, we're going to recruit locally and nationally as hard as we can. We came here to win national championships. Win national championships, you're competing against everybody. So in my mind, nothing's changed. It's not like it doesn't matter what conference you're in. Most schools in the country are going to come recruit in Southern California, right? There's a lot of good players out here. So, very confident in our brand, very confident in our approach, and our goals are completely unaffected by anything.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
Go ahead. Come on.
Thank you. Do you have a set plan number 2 summer and just moving Jonah over there as a contingency? Is that plan A?
We'll see. We've got more options this year, which is good. I think Gino gives us some options. I think we've been really pleased with Killian. He's done a nice job. And is he ready to be in that 2 deep? He's gonna have to really fight. But can I envision that in his career? Absolutely, with the way he's progressed. Millick has some of that experience, and Jonah does as well. And then you got a couple of the young freshmen that can play there. So we actually have probably more options at center than I can remember in a while, and good quality depth, which is good.
Thanks,
All right, guys.